when an offensive show was anticipated, it was the UC defense that shined. This interception by cornerback John Lewis nearly returned for a touchdown, and the Bearcats beat Louisville 24-17. The Dave Curry Show. Brought to you by the Cincinnati Gas and Electric Company. And by Pepsi-Cola General Bottlers Incorporated of Cincinnati. And by Provident Travel. Hi, everybody. Welcome into the Dave Curry Show following the victory over Louisville last night, 24-17. Coach, I asked Tom Hathaway when I came in, are we having fun now? Is it official?
Well, it's a lot more fun when you win. Well, we played a fired-up football team from Louisville last night, but with the rain and the slickness of the field and the enthusiasm of the crowd, our defense really rose the occasion, and for the first time, we got more turnovers than they got.
I know that was part of your preparation this week. You talked to your squad about the turnover ratio, which was a -6 going in. You improved that substantially.
Well, certainly, Tim, and it made a big difference. Our players made some things happen. One of the best hitting games we've had at UC, and it was a big win for us in so many ways.
Let's get to, as the disc jockeys say, the greatest hits of all time in half number 1 as we look at the highlights of UC in Louisville.
Tim, we start off here on the highlights with the offense. This is Reggie Taylor, who went down in the first half with a hip pointer. We don't know how that's going to come along, but Reggie's a great competitor and wanted to play the second half. We kept him out. This is a draw play to Taylor. We're moving the ball the first half much more effectively than we did the second half. McCoy is back to pass here. This hits Al McKinney in the right flat. Al played much better the second half and improves every week. This is UC moving down the field now. McCoy again steps up, finds an open receiver here. That's Jason Stargell, who again had a very fine night catching the football. McCoy started off the game very sharp, 3 out of 4 as we see, and once again he's back to pass here, and this was a pass play for a touchdown. On the replay here, we're going to see the official called us for an illegal formation, and we were not in an illegal formation, and these kinds of calls can really hurt you. This is McCoy on a screen play to Reggie Taylor. We did not see the replay on the touchdown pass, but we did look at it, and we had a legal formation.
No question about it.
Here's McCoy throwing in the flat. This is Roosevelt Mukes, the fine sophomore. I almost said freshman. He's really growing up. We get on the board here with a field goal that puts us out in front.
39 yards by Philin Salako.
Well, now the defense is on the field. Daryl Nash starting off here. Dan Sellers running the football. You're going to see a lot of black jerseys. Here's a tip pass there by Alex Gordon, and then Richard Rhodes makes a great hit on the intended receiver. Here's a snap over the punter's head, and watch John Lewis come flying in from the middle of the screen on a wet field, recovers the fumble, and that's a big turnover for a touchdown.
Got his body in between the opponent and the football and just slid right into it. Great job.
Nice to see those happen to us, isn't it?
For a change.
Here Louisville is back to pass. They get a receiver over the middle. We did have much better running to the football defensively. Look at this Alex Gordon here, a good play. Rob Niehoff helping out, Gerald Ware in there. Alex Gordon played another fine football game. Louisville is down inside the 15-yard line here, and they come back, and I think this is the play they throw the tight end, who's a very fine football player, by the way. That's Gerald Ware making the tackle in the end zone, and Louisville has 7 points.
Stanley Thomas, their tight end.
This is McCoy back to pass. Finds Stargell over the middle, and a good hookup, and Jason runs and gets down on the ground. There was a lot of big hits last night in both secondaries. This is Taylor up the middle on a draw, breaks outside, and you can see Reggie's hip right there bothering him, and he really was in a lot of pain. Here's a fake blitz. McCoy back to pass, and he hits Stargell up top. This is a great throw and great catch, and you don't get to really appreciate this, but Jason really pushed the outside defender upfield and then broke underneath for a touchdown.
They're trying to give you the look of single coverage there, aren't they, Dave?
Well, they faked the blitz, and the safety went back, and he didn't get back in time. And then when Jason ran his post pattern, the safety got underneath it. But that was a great throw and a better route. Here we are back on defense. Look at this hit by Rob Niehoff. Throwing the ball over the middle, our defensive backs rose the occasion and had some big hits. Look at Bobby Leshnek here, coming with a big sack, good pressure. I thought our pressure last night was much better on the quarterback. Here's Louisville back on offense. Gruden's back to pass, throws it up top, and here's a big play by John Lewis. John Lewis is a walk-on that has earned a scholarship. He started in the secondary and had a great night last night. Big plays. John intercepted that ball, and remind ourselves he also recovered the ball in the end zone.
Yes, sir.
Here's a replay. The nice thing about this replay is you'll see Gerald Ware right now comes up with a big block. Boom,
wow,
right there. And that's another one of those big hits we talked about. This is Scott Tackett in motion. UC back in offense. Al McKinney up the middle on the draw play. Tackett played well last night, coming back off of an injury. It's nice to have him back. Here's a screen play to the left. McKinney gets the ball and tries to get in the end zone. We had a good block there by Pat Lavelle, our center. The ball's down to the 1-foot line, and on the next play, you'll see McCoy sneak over for a touchdown.
Last night, there were a lot of problems with the quarterback-center exchange, and I think Danny, that time, maybe just wanted to eliminate a handoff.
Well, we were that close on first down, and I think that's the best play. One of the things we did see is that the ball was wet. The field, the turf, though, really drained well for a surface, and with that kind of a downpour, it was nice to have a good turf, and I think our surface is one of the best in the country.
You guys had far fewer problems in the center quarterback exchange than Louisville had.
I hope so, and that's something we've worked on, but that's very important, and you take that for granted sometime. With that wet ball, sometimes there is a center snap problem.
So now you take a nice lead to the locker room at halftime, 24-10. What did you talk about? Did you need to correct anything?
We went into the locker room at halftime trying to shore up our offense. We were moving the football, but as the second half will show, we didn't come back out and get the job done as well as we wanted to. Defensively, we talked about turnovers. Our kicking game, we talked about turnovers. Let's not turn the ball over, and let's create some, of which we had done the first half.
And there are more turnovers coming in the second half. We'll get to the second half highlights in a moment on the Dave Curry Show. Stay with us. It's 24-10 at halftime. You go out in the third quarter. You turn it over right away, Coach, but that was about the only bad thing that really happened to you in the second half. Your defense took over, won the game.
Tim, defensively, we played exceptionally well, and I was very proud of our hitting. Offensively, we really bogged down that second half a little bit. We just couldn't get anything going, and as you alluded to, a fumble the second half, third quarter, but that was the only turnover we had, and while we didn't play as great offensively, we didn't turn the ball over, and then defensively in the kicking game rose the occasion.
Al McKinney is a fine back, but Reggie Taylor's your senior, one of your leaders. You really miss him, don't you?
Well, we do for more reasons than one, is that Reggie's got the experience for pass protection to making decisions. Al's a young sophomore, Tackett's a young sophomore, but they'll get better. But again, we've got some fine sophomores on defense that are playing well. Leshnek, Sabotis, to name a few. Let's watch them.
You're ahead for a change. 24-10 as we go to the third quarter. Let's look at the highlights of the third period you see in Louisville.
Louisville is on offense here. That's Catchings and Gordon, two great defensive plays. They're down inside the 20-yard line. This is Louisville back to pass. We get a pass interference penalty here by John Lewis over the back. Wasn't a good time to have it happen, but we got a great hit on the play, and Rhodes really smacked him. Look at this play here. That's Rhodes coming in, causing a fumble, and I believe that was Leshnek that recovered the fumble. A big play, a big turnover. Louisville's back to pass. Great play by one of our co-captains,
Rob Niehoff.
That's Sabotis getting the first hit there, and then the defense coming back in to game tackle again, 4 and 5 jerseys. Catchings had a hold of his quarterback, almost sacked him when he threw this ball, but this was a big play for Louisville down to the 2-yard line. Now it's first down Here's Darrell Nash, Alex Gordon both got a hit. It's second down now. Great goal line stand. Look at this pressure here. Against John Lewis, Darrell Nash, Catchings. Third down here. They come around the corner, and we almost get, that's Nash, the guy slipping off him for a touchdown. But that was one of the finer defensive efforts of the night. This is Tackett up the middle on a draw play. We tried to, they had a good pass rush on us last night, Tim. Probably one of the best pressure games we've had on our quarterback. So we tried to run outside a little bit. Here, McKinney, we won't see it totally, but this was the last one to tackle him. If not, he'd gotten the whole thing. Tackett in motion to the right. McCoy is back to pass. He steps up here and finds Joe Heiss coming across the middle. Heiss had a sore foot all week and came in and played very well, surprisingly well. Once again, McCoy's back to pass. He steps up and throws a curl. Look at this catch by Joe Heiss. That's a great catch for a good first down. We go for the field goal. We get a bad snap, and Phil Insulaco kicks the ball to his left, but in fairness to him, we had the bad snap. Now, look at this. Tony Catchings, big hit. Bob Leshneck, big fumble recovery. That is a big play. McCoy is back to pass on offense. Roosevelt Mukes makes a big catch for a hook up here. Well, we're showing some offensive highlights. We still had trouble getting some consistency moving the ball. This is McKinney running left, but as you'll see, we'll come back to where the defense really rises the occasion on the second half. Here's a replay, and look at the good block there by Irv Owens, number 64, who has been filling in at the left guard spot very well. Louisville back. Here's a pass completion, though. Those receivers go over the middle to catch that ball. They put their life in their hands. This is Gerald Ware making a good tackle here with Richard Rhodes helping out. This is towards the end of the game now, and we have to stop them. The quarterback's back to pass. He scrambles. He's running. Catchings has a hold of him. Now, they called him for intentional grounding, which was a great call. Unfortunately, they changed their mind. It was interesting the decision was made on that side of the field. Look at this one. Gerald Ware tips the ball. Catchings makes the interception, and it's all UC's night right here.
Here's a great potential running back, Coach. Have you tried him out there?
Well, I'll tell you what, I like to see him catching the ball and running with it. This is a replay. If you see Zabotas going underneath, watch number 9. Gets his hands up, good coverage. That's Gerald Ware. Tips the ball, and then an inspired, alert defense intercepts it, and this puts the game away for UC, and we just take the clock and run it out after this. It was a big win for us, Tim, in so many ways, because we had to get this one under our belt. This was a fourth down punt. Look at the coverage here. It's
Lee Perkins.
Lee Perkins, and Lee played very well. As a matter of fact, right here, you're going to see Lee almost intercept the ball. Dropped it, and that would have put the game away.
Good pressure and a hand on the quarterback's arm by Dan Sellers, your defensive end.
That's right, and this is those kinds of handshakes that I enjoy after the game.
I was wondering. It was a warm night in Louisville, and the Bearcats were red hot offensively and defensively.